following they have. We talk about ideas. If you think back about the video, when we said all that stuff about boxing this, it was on the topics. We didn't talk about Fresh's past. We didn't talk about him faking press releases. We didn't talk about you paying for box. We didn't talk about none of that. You guys are getting so hyper emotional about this thing. It's funny to me. For so-called alpha males, you guys don't seem to have any control over your temper.
Our channel's better than yours. Facts. We get more views than you. We've been on less than you. We work harder than y'all. We cut our hair more than you. Like, yo, if y'all want to
get more girls than y'all.
Free. Like, if y'all really want to do this.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. A lot of content creators in the Manosphere made videos about the Abba and Preach and Fresh and Fit situation. We recommend you watch the full videos to understand their full perspective of their highlights. Links in the description. Shout out to the content creators. Keep up the good work. So without further ado, let's get this highlight reel started.
Preach is married prior to a fucking beluga whale somewhere. And y'all niggas talking shit.
Yo, that was uncalled for, man. You gotta leave the wife out of it at the end of the day. I get these guys like reactions. I get these guys want responses. They want that clout. But when you bring a man's wife into the situation and she has nothing to do with it, that's when you cross the line. And that's what I would consider, in my opinion, that's when you have to be able to step up and back up your words with potentially a fight, potentially settling it man to man. If you have beef with another man, keep it between you and that other man, or you and that man and that other person. Don't include someone else's family member, someone's wife, someone's friend, whoever it is that is not included in that debate, that discussion, that argument. This really looks bad on their part.
The second elephant in the room is this. This one is about what Fresh and Fit did. You never attack a man personally, publicly. You never personally attack a man publicly. It is a very feminine thing to do. It should never be done by a man. Any man who's done it should be ashamed of himself, and he should ask for the forgiveness of the man who he offended. It is not masculine at all to personally attack men publicly.
But I understand now why Alvin Preach was motivated to do that video in the first place. And I'm gonna without dropping information, I'll tell you this: Fresh and Fit are snakes. Okay, they are. The things that I know that they do, the people who they shit on, it's amazing. And I want to say this: for anybody from our community, and even though they're in the mainstream manosphere, black manosphere, guys, you have no business dealing with these dudes. These guys, it's sad. These guys shouldn't even be in the manosphere, black or white. Okay? I take a lot of umbrage with them. And at first I didn't understand why, but if you knew the backstory like I did, then you would know. That's all I'm gonna say. But these guys are what they say they are. And I'm gonna come out and apologize to Nina Unrated, to Alba and Preach, because it had nothing to do with the Alba and Preach situation. These guys are liars. These guys are snakes. These guys are backstabbers. I got proof of that, and nobody wants me to drop my receipts. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna leave it alone. These guys are trash, bro.
And I think me personally, I just lean a little bit closer to the way Abba and Preach view the world because of my age and because of my, now here's the thing, I've done what Fresh, Myron and Fresh CEO do. I've done what they've done. I've been in the game. I wasn't in Miami at the time. In the time I was in, I did some up in Syracuse, New York, and I did some game kind of down south in other areas that I've lived. I've done what they've done. So I certainly can't call them out on that. I didn't do it on a podcast, and I didn't do it live in front of 100,000 people, but I lived the life they did. And now I'm kind of living the life a little bit closer to how Abba and Preach do. So, it's very hard for me to pick a side here, but I think what's important to know is that both groups of men have valid views on the world. They're just in different places of their lives, and they see things differently. And the problem is, I think they're disagreeing with some things, and because they're in different places in their lives, they're not in agreement on anything. So, I know that's kind of a weak take on it, but if you expected me to sit here and roast one group of guys or the other, or call them all out, or break everything down, that's not what I do.
What has been going on, there's a bunch of reasons that I've been particularly quiet about the situation, most of which I don't want to really get into like that. Okay, there's some things happening behind the scenes, but trust and believe there's a method to the madness. Okay, listen, at the end of the day, what I tell you guys, all right, you can't just react to different situations. You got to respond appropriately. Okay, boys react, men respond. That's the type of energy that you're going to bring into all of these, even when it's affecting those that were in the general vicinity. You understand me? There's certain people out there that just want a straight up reaction. They just want people to just just say this, that, and the third. But that's not the type of energy you got to hit them from time to time. You know what I'm saying? My pops always used to tell me, never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Never. Because then you giving away the chess piece. You giving away the strategy. You giving away the moves. Okay? You have to understand that. There's dudes that's just down up in there, and women as well, that just want nothing but for the sake of entertainment, but it's more than that. It means a lot more to me than that. So of course I'm not going to react in a situation. Because you checkers. You checkers at the end of the day. I'm chess pieces and moves. All right? Be quiet at the end of the day. See what's happening. It didn't involve me. It's not my drama. It's not my beef. It's not my drama. It's not my beef.
Well, what I want people to understand about Fresh and Fit is that it's half real and half entertainment. That's what you have to realize. They're blowing up because they're taking the time out of their day to give you the entertainment that you want. Is it false advertisement? Is what they doing false advertisement? No. It's the social media traditional. It's what happens in the simulated world. I'm a YouTuber. You know how many YouTubers I know behind the scenes? Listen to what I'm telling you. Everyone is giving you an image to entertain people who do not leave the house. So what you guys have to understand is that if they were not entertaining to you, you would not continue to go back to the channel. They found their niche as to what works and they stick with it. That's typically what people are doing. They understand what the crowd wants, what the crowd needs, and they feed the audience what they want and what they need. We live in a fake world. So you have to understand what they are doing is teaching the truth, but entertaining you at the same time.
What you men have to understand is there are street rules, there are business rules, there are judicial system rules, there are jailhouse rules, there are all kinds of rules in every facet of life. You're going to be in relationship rules, pimp game rules, hustling rules. But manhood rules transcend all boundaries. Manhood rules will always rise to the top no matter what environment you're in. And in this scenario, certain manhood rules have been disregarded or downright offended. But manhood rules transcend all boundaries when it comes to men dealing with other men. Manhood rules come first. Because before you could be anything, you got to be a man first, or you should be a man first. Otherwise, your actions can't be counted on, your actions can't be predicted if you don't follow manhood rules.
Manosphere, we working. This video has officially been highlighted.